Today we're taking you to two of Albania's most breathtaking destinations, the UNESCO town of Gjirokastër and the stunning Blue Eye. From ancient legends and communist era history to unreal natural beauty, this trip was full of surprises for us. Stay with us as we explore Gjirokaster Castle, taste local food, and uncover the mysteries behind Albania's famous natural spring. Let's hit the road. Hi, we are Darmish and Kieran from KD Travelers, two early retirement slow travelers sharing our journey and knowledge to help others do the same. Let's travel together. Our day started in the most authentic way possible with a visit to a small Albanian village tucked away in the countryside. This wasn't just any old stop, it was the family home of our guides Mario and his father, a place filled with history, traditions, and incredible hospitality. The guide and his father told us about the history of their family, and we could just feel the history as we drove up to their family home. Walking through his property, we saw lots of citrus trees, heavy with ripe oranges, mandarins, and tiny but powerful kumquats. And the best part, we were invited to pick them fresh from the trees, showing how friendly and kind Albanians are. There's something so special about tasting fruit straight from the source, and the flavors were vibrant, sweet, and bursting with freshness. Kieran was in heaven, having so much fun exploring and picking straight from the trees. A definite highlight and amazing surprise of the day. One of the first things he offered was raki, a strong homemade Albanian brandy that's deeply woven into the local culture. Taking a sip this early in the morning was something we definitely didn't plan on. Let's just say it was an experience. Locals swear by it as a cure-all, and after one sip we understood why. We are not big drinkers, so Kieran made me finish hers, and trust me, it was strong. Skipping breakfast that morning did not help the matter. Oh well, life is just to be enjoyed, right? As we wandered through the garden, our guide shared stories of his childhood here, the generations that had lived in this home, and how life was in the village and how it's changed over the years. It was one of those travel moments that makes you slow down and appreciate the simple joys, good company, fresh fruit, and a glimpse into the real Albanian life. Now, after this amazing pit stop, we are off to our next location. The drive to Gjirokastër is absolutely breathtaking. The towering mountains, the deep valleys, and the endless scenery make the journey just as incredible as the destination itself. This town is known as the City of Stone because of its unique Ottoman-style architecture, but beyond its beauty, it has a fascinating and sometimes dark history. The mountain road we took is a newer road and makes the journey quicker now that they've built this amazing tunnel through the mountain. Kieran, on the other hand, was not so happy since she does not like to take tunnels at all. We also made another quick stop along the way at a spot that locals simply just pull over to the side of the road and quickly fill up natural water. This is something that you will see in other areas as well. They have spots where they have run pipes to the side of the road and people just stop and fill up their containers and then move on. Now arriving in Gjirokastër, our guide will drop us off closer to the old Bazaar area, and then we're going to walk the rest up to the castle from there. And even the views from here are so amazing and worth taking a few minutes to enjoy. You can see all the stone rooftops that you hear so much about. The city of Gjirokastër is officially a UNESCO Heritage Site since July 2005. Now, the Gjirokaster Castle is the crown jewel of this historic city, standing proudly atop a hill with breathtaking views over the Drino Valley. But this fortress isn't just a beautiful landmark, it has witnessed centuries of war, occupation, and even political repression. We came across this artist making stone carvings during our walk from the bazaar up to the castle. Unfortunately, since we are slow traveling, buying souvenirs is not an option for us, but the sheer weight would just put us over. Dating back to the 12th century, the castle was originally built by the Byzantines and expanded over time by the Ottomans. It played a strategic role in controlling southern Albania, and its walls have seen countless battles. Walking through these ancient stone corridors, you can almost feel the echoes of the history surrounding you. One of the most striking parts of the castle is the collection of old artillery and cannons, remnants of Albania's turbulent past. Some of these weapons from Italian and German forces during World War II and are now displayed as symbols of resistance. This tank is the Italian Fiat L640 tank from 1940. It is one of only 3 remaining of its type in the world, with only 283 commissioned by the Italian forces in World War II. That's pretty amazing. Another item of interest is the U.S. plane with 2 stories from opposing sides. A U.S. newspaper in 1958 reported that the pilot was flying from the U.S. base in France to Italy and on the way got lost in heavy fog and went off course. Running low on fuel, he made the emergency landing in Albania. Now, the story from the other side, which is the Albanian communist regime's version, a Tirana broadcast from the same time states, pilots from the Albanian People's Army intercepted a U.S. spy plane in Albania's airspace and forced it to land. We will never know which story is the truth, but the true facts do show a U.S. Air Force Lockheed T-33 plane did land in December 1957 at Rias Airport, Tirana, and never left. But beyond its military history, the castle hides a darker side. Under communist rule, this fortress was turned into a prison for political dissidents. Anyone who spoke out against the government risked being locked away in these cold, unforgiving cells. Standing inside them today, it's eerie to imagine what life was like for those trapped here, knowing they might never get free again. On a more cheerful note, back in the 17th century, this area of the castle was full of houses, and now it stands as an open field area. In 1968, they held the National Folk Festival here in the castle, and now every few years they will host the festival, filling the castle with music, dancing, bright Albanian displays, and costumes. Then there's the legend. According to local folklore, a beautiful princess was held captive in this very castle. As enemy forces approached, she was forced with a terrible fate: capture or escape. Rather than being taken with her child, she chose to leap from the castle walls into the valley below. Miraculously, her baby survived, and legend has it that the white streaks on the rocks below were left behind the earth, providing milk to nourish the child. Whether myth or reality, this is one of the many stories that makes this place so hauntingly fascinating. Now, after all that exploring, we had to try some local food. Albanian cuisine is a hidden gem, and today we're trying some traditional dishes, including delicious rice balls. The flavors here are hearty, fresh, and totally unique. As we wandered through the charming streets of Gjirokastër, we stumbled upon a small, locally owned souvenir shop filled with handcrafted treasures. But what makes this place truly special isn't just the souvenirs, it's what they discovered beneath their feet. During recent renovations, the owners made an unexpected discovery: an ancient well hidden beneath the shop. No one knows exactly how old it is, but some believe it could date back centuries, possibly from the time when Gjirokastër was an important trading and military town. Imagine that. People from long ago might have drawn water from this very well, never knowing it would one day be hidden beneath a modern-day shop. It's little surprises like this that make exploring Gjirokastër so exciting. History is still being uncovered even today. If you ever visit, be sure to stop by. Not only can you take home a unique handmade souvenir, but you can also see this hidden piece of history for yourself. Gjirokastër Old Town is a sprawling Ottoman-style bazaar, originally constructed in the 17th century and completely rebuilt 200 years later following a devastating fire. The serpentine streets are decorated with a gorgeous interlacing pattern made with white and black stone. As we learned, most of the cobbles were laid by one single man, the best stonesman in town. After exploring the historic streets of Gjirokastër, we hit the road again towards one of Albania's most breathtaking natural wonders, the Blue Eye. The drive itself was an experience, winding through the rugged mountains of southern Albania. Every turn revealed a new stunning landscape, rolling hills, deep valleys, and towering peaks in the distance. We passed through charming rural villages where life moves at a slower pace. After soaking in the history of Gjirokastër, it was time for something completely different, a natural wonder that looks almost unreal. The Blue Eye, or Gjirokastër in Albanian, is one of Albania's most magical and mysterious places. The colors come from an underground river that pushes water up from the depths, creating an effect that almost looks like an eye staring back at you. But what's even more fascinating is that no one knows exactly how deep the Blue Eye really is. Divers have gone down at least 50 meters or 164 feet, but the strongest currents make it impossible to reach the bottom. Scientists believe it could go even deeper, adding to its mystery. The water is so clear, and the reflections of the surrounding trees make the entire place feel almost otherworldly. However, swimming is no longer allowed to protect the ecosystem, but just standing on the wooden platforms and watching the water bubble up from the ground is mesmerizing. The Blue Eye is more than just a pretty sight. It's also an important water source for the region, feeding into the Bistrica River, which eventually flows into the Ionian Sea. Legend has it that this spring was healing powers, and local folklore suggests that ancient travelers would stop here to drink the water before continuing their journey. Whether or not that's true, one thing is certain: this place has a magic of its own. Surrounded by thick forests and untouched nature, the Blue Eye feels like stepping into a hidden paradise. It's the kind of place that reminds you just how incredible and diverse Albania really is. What an incredible day, from walking through centuries of history in Gjirokastër to witnessing the mind-blowing beauty of the Blue Eye. This trip has been unforgettable. Albania is full of hidden gems just waiting to be explored, and we're so excited to share them with you. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more slow travel experiences. And let us know in the comments, would you visit Gjirokastër and the Blue Eye? Which one would you explore first? See you in the next video.